pleasant afternoon to everyone. Welcome to another batch of college orientation. Today, we will be joined by our sister school, the College of St. Anthony. At this point, I will now give the floor to the representatives and college professors of the College of St. Anthony.
My name is Miss Sophia, and I will be your host for today's virtual college orientation. We sincerely hope you gain something valuable from our interaction today, especially as you decide what to do or which path to take after high school. Many tend to view college as the golden ticket to a high paying salary, a secure career, and upward class mobility. And then to attain this particular golden ticket, it matters to certain people to go to a well known school with a high track record of producing excellent graduates. So, what about you? Do you believe in this or do you perceive this to be true? This is something you can reflect on this afternoon. Okay, what else should we consider? Something I'd like for you to think about also is that selecting a college based on excellence perception is generated by rankings, but take note that these rankings can be easily manipulated as well. So, down the line, this means that when we make decisions on what school to choose or what course we end up taking, we tend to research possible college programs or career paths that back up what we already believe in. In line with this, we gravitate towards what we're familiar with and we cling on to our personal biases. For example, to become successful in life, there's a notion here that you need to make it to the big four schools in the Philippines. But at times, we fail to go deeper regarding what course to take or what career to pursue because some of them are dismissed as fads or what is currently popular. So, do take note that when it comes to finding a course, it should be based on your passions, gifts, aptitude, and interests that link with great careers, something that's based on what you're personally invested in. Also, you need to take a closer look at the schools you're considering for your education. Don't be easily swayed by commons such as free items, discounts, and gifts. Schools that truly care about their students invest in caliber teachers and programs to help students become employable after you graduate or once you're done with your specific program. So at the College of St. Anthony, we would like to find students who are the right fit for the programs that we offer. So I just wanted to share with you some of the programs that we currently offer at the College of St. Anthony. So some of which are multimedia arts. We also offer communication arts, education with a specialization in early childhood education or special needs education. And currently, or very recently, we also um, got to come up with our teaching certificate program. On top of that, we also offer accountancy as one of the programs we have here at CSA. Here are some commonly asked questions that we encounter. So, first, how much is the tuition fee? So, the basic rate for our tuition fee is 2,500 per subject. So, it would really vary depending on how many subjects you enroll in per semester. Okay, so what is the class setup like? It really depends as well on what is prescribed by CHED, but at present, we are having limited face to face classes wherein most of the classes are done online and there are specific or scheduled dates wherein classes are held on site here at CSA. What are the scholarships you offer or what are the grants that you offer? We do offer discounts to high performing students coming from public schools. And then some would also ask if we have an entrance exam. Instead of an entrance exam, we administer an online or a face to face interview. Other frequently asked questions would be where are you located? So we are located along Quirino Highway in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. It is one jeep ride away from SM Fairview and around 20 minutes away from Lagro. And we opened our doors to students in the college since the onset of the pandemic in 2020. We also have 2 semesters in a school year, and another commonly asked question is, do we have provisions or considerations for working students? Yes, we do take into consideration the different contexts of our students. Okay, so today we'd like for you to meet some of our lecturers who will share with you what's in store in the different courses or programs we have at the College of St. Anthony. So at this point, let me introduce to you our first speaker, who happens to be one of our accountancy lecturers at CSA. Mr. Formoso is a certified public accountant and a loving father to his family. He has been actively involved in 3 sectors: commerce and industry, public practice, and education. Mr. Formoso is the Vice President for Professional Development at the Association for Certified Public Accountants in Public Practice and the Director for Public Practice at the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants Rizal Chapter. As a public servant, he is the chairperson of the Early Intervention Committee and an executive committee member of the Down Syndrome Association of the Philippines. So at this point, let's all welcome Mr. Formoso.
Yan, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, students. One of the courses that's being offered right now in CSA College St. Anthony is the accountancy program, which is a very, very competitive course, considering that number one, it would have a board exam. However, the good thing to that is, as mentioned by Ma'am Sophia, is that we would have 4 sectors. If you would are inclined, again, the presentation materials mentioned is more on the inclination of the students rather than the school, because even if you go to the big four that's mentioned earlier, if you are not inclined with the courses provided or given there, you might have a hard time. Wherein, if for example you would enroll with us, College of St. Anthony, and you are inclined on business, on accountancy, BSA course is being offered in this college, wherein, as mentioned, top caliber lecturers and professors are teaching in CSA, College of St. Anthony. For example, with me, I'm the vice president for professional development of a association of CPAs in the entire Philippines. I am also director of public practice. I am also the vice president of a company, a chief financial officer, which is the highest position that can be attained by a certain individual who graduated and to pass the board exam. Even if I wasn't able to study in the top four, as mentioned earlier. So it's not about the school. It's about the teacher. It's about the passion. It's about you being the individual which would I want to choose as far as my future is concerned. If, for example, you're inclined to business and you're inclined to accountancy, I highly recommend CSA for you to look at. And again, also consider proximity. But as far as the repertoire of lectures concerned, I myself is very much updated as far as the accountancy profession, considering I hold key positions in the organization for the entire CPA in the entire Philippines. We also have lecturers who are masteral PhDs, attorneys with regards to business law, which is part of the subjects of accountancy. So again, there are, I think, one of the lecturers also, which is my friend, is also working at the top big four audit firms in the country. So lecturers in CSA cannot be pushed around. It's very much competent as far as teaching and sharing with you the accountancy profession. And we hope, even if, for example, you're not inclined to for accountancy, but you're inclined in multimedia, please consider highly CSA. Again, I am here as a help to, although I reside far, but sabi nga, I mentioned a while ago, we do also conduct a limited face-to-face. And even if I reside very far from the school, my devotion and my commitment to the school and to the owners are there, because we are a family. We're not just a school, we are a family in CSA. So that, I think, really matters, because if you are considering your teachers, your administrator as a family, and we also consider each of the students our family, nandun yung what we call malasakit to each other. No, we are not looking at whether, oh yes, it's better to have attain a high grade, but as far as what we are passing through right now with the pandemic and everything, it's very good to have a family outside of your biological family, which is, I think, CSA can offer that. So again, good afternoon. I would not get more time because we have more lecturers to explain their part. But again, keep safe, God bless, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to explain the accountancy course of CSA. Thank you.
God bless you too, Mr. Formosa. And thank you very much for your meaningful sharing. Um, I'm sure na-inspire po sila and natuwa po na nabahagi nyo yung different experiences and linkages nyo at present. So thank you very much, sir. And then I'd like to also introduce our next speaker for today, who's also an accountancy lecturer at CSA. Attorney Apple is a skilled lawyer with over 16 years of experience in corporate law, legal consulting, contract drafting, and legal research. She graduated with honors from Wesleyan University in Connecticut, USA, with a Bachelor of Arts in Government. She then pursued law at the University of the Philippines College of Law and got admitted to the Philippine Bar in 2005. Her vast experience in the field of law continues to open the eyes of our CSA students to a whole new perspective. Let's all welcome Attorney Apple.
Thank you very much, Miss Sophia. Is the audio okay for everyone?
Yes, attorney.
Oh, it's
Okay,
clear.
thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to talk to you today. When I look at everyone who's on this meet today, I actually feel a little bit envious. You're about to embark on an exciting journey, and you have all these exciting opportunities before you. I was once a senior in high school, like you, many, many years ago. But I still remember being excited at the thought of going to college and at the same time feeling overwhelmed by all the decisions that I needed to make. You know, this afternoon, I will tell you two things. One, why you should choose CSA, and two, why you should choose accountancy. The choice of the college that you will go to is important. More than the name or the size of the college, your major consideration should be the quality of education that you will receive. Bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. A smaller class size is a big advantage because it will mean more substantial interaction with your classmates and teachers. We go to college to learn. So we should choose the college that will give us the most opportunities for more meaningful learning. And CSA can give you that. It can provide you with an environment where you can flourish and be able to showcase your talents and your skills. You will have teachers who are experts in their fields, but at the same time can give you quality classroom time and mentoring. You will be expected to participate in class actively. Because, yes, students learn from teachers, but at the same time, teachers also learn from students. As mentioned earlier, CSA offers four majors, and one of them is accountancy. As pointed out also earlier by Ms. Sophia, you should choose your course of study based on your passions and your interests and your aptitude and your skills. If you have a passion for numbers, you have good analytical skills, you're interested in business, or you want to learn all of that, then accounting might be for you. What exactly is accounting? Well, accounting is defined in the Merriam Webster Dictionary as the system of recording and summarizing business and financial transactions and analyzing, verifying, and reporting the results. It needs to be done consistently on a regular basis. It is noting down the key details of all financial transactions of a business. It is analyzing the transactions in order to extract meaningful information from them. And it is summarizing that information by producing reports that show your findings and providing them to the various stakeholders of the business, such as the board of directors, the stockholders, the officers, and the investors. So, why should you choose accountancy? I'll give you two reasons. One, the need for accountants is constant. As mentioned earlier, I am not an accountant, but I am a lawyer, and my field of practice is corporate law, so I do work with accountants. I always tell my clients that for their business, having a good accountant is more important than having a good lawyer, and I truly believe that. Accountants are involved in the operations of a company that a lawyer is not always privy to. All the companies need accountants, and the work that accountants do is essential to the business. Hence, there is always a demand for accountants. Two, accounting teaches you financial literacy, one of the most important life skills. What is financial literacy? It is learning to budget and save and understanding financial terms like interest, assets and liabilities, balance sheet, cash flow, etc. Financial literacy will teach you how to manage your money and investments effectively and efficiently. And the sooner you learn this, the better. People talk a lot about adulting. I mean, that's a common word that we hear. And a big chunk of adulting is actually dealing with your finances. Accounting will make you financially literate, and that is a good thing. These are just some of the reasons why you should choose to go to CSA and why you should consider accounting as your major. The other speakers this afternoon will also have their own reasons, and you should consider all of that when making your decision. I'd like to end with a quote from one of my favorite books by Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You'll Go. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. And you are the one who'll decide where to go. Thank you. Thank you very much and good luck with the rest of the school year. And I look forward to meeting all of you in CSA. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Apple, for that very practical sharing. You're right. Part of adulting as well is really learning how to become more financially literate. And I also like the quote you added at the very end of your sharing, allowing our students to reflect that it's really their choice where they want to end up in, right? So, our next speaker for today is one of our education lecturers. Perhaps you see her every now and then in your campus. Dr. Simorlan took up her graduate program in early childhood education and PhD in child and family studies at Miriam College. She has been in the academe for over 2 decades. She likewise published textbooks and research articles in national and international journals and is currently affiliated with the SEAP Regional Council and the Southeast Asian Academic Research Collaborators Hub. Let us all welcome Dr. Ava Ansimorlan.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Sophia. So, good afternoon, everyone, and hope you are all well. So, I have been teaching in College of St. Anthony for 3 years, handling subjects in early childhood education and special needs education. So, perhaps some of you here would like to become teachers someday, and teaching has always been a rewarding profession. So, because you inspire and touch the lives of children. So I have been teaching for more than 20 years, and indeed it is very much fulfilling. So I am sure that most of you here were inspired by your caring, loving, and understanding preschool and elementary teachers. So I'll just read the slide. Okay, the next slide, please. So, an early childhood educator should be well equipped with the necessary knowledge to better understand the developmental milestones of children, especially those in their formative years. So, in the different subjects under early childhood education and special needs education, you will learn the essential concepts regarding the aspects of development in every child from infancy to adolescence. So, there are times when you ask yourself why one child is advanced compared to another, or why each child progresses at different rates. So, these questions will be answered in these courses. So in these programs, you will be enlightened about the theories of development. You will get to observe classes. You learn to create age-appropriate learning materials. Write a comprehensive lesson plan based on the early childhood curriculum. Know the different assessment tools. Construct effective assessment materials. Prepare for demo classes. Experience to teach pupils either in or off campus. And as you learn various skills, it becomes more meaningful as you also brainstorm with your group mates or dwell on interviews and research to update yourself with the latest and more effective ways to guide young learners. Yan. As you can see there, the word holistic. So students in these courses are also developed holistically. So you will engage in activities that will enhance your physical domain, such as demo classes, for instance, or cognitive, preparing sample instructional requirements, social, collaborating with your group mates, emotional and spiritual domain. Now you also make reflections based on your classroom observations, and even technological, no, wherein you prepare digital materials or tools to meet the modern needs of the young pupils. So this way, you will be able to effectively translate these developments to your young learners someday. So let me end my sharing with this message that leaving positive marks and training young children to be their best are indeed great achievements. And the College of St. Anthony programs in education will genuinely guide the students to become well rounded teachers in the future. So that's it, and hope to see some of you the next school year in College of St. Anthony. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ava, for your wonderful presentation. Of course, teaching is a very dynamic job, just like Dr. Ava and your different teachers here. I'm also a licensed professional teacher. So I can say that it's definitely not your typical 8 to 5 job because you'll always have to be on your feet. You every day will be a different learning experience for you because you're always bound not just to teach but to also learn from your students. So we do hope that you also, to those aspiring teachers or educators, we hope that you consider our education programs as well. So, our next speaker is one of our lecturers who handles communications and multimedia art classes. Miss Alviar took up her undergraduate degree in journalism at the University of Santo Tomas. She later pursued her MA in economics and management at the Instituto Universitario Sofia in Italy. She has a global perspective and is used to working in an international and multicultural environment. Ms. Alviar has diverse work experience in digital marketing, customer service, and research. Surely her wide array of experiences will allow her to impart wisdom and knowledge continuously to our students here at CSA. So let's all welcome Ms. Cara Alviar.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I did not expect that you would have a teacher reveal. Hi, grade 12 students. It's very nice to see your faces today. Um, if you would like, I would really sell my com arts program. Okay, so do you want to be a social media influencer? That is very in right now. A lot of people, when I ask, oh, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a Twitch streamer. Sure, you can be all that, but you can also be in the medical field, right? In the finance field, as Dr. Ava also expressed, you can also be a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, or a business person. But how will you be able to fulfill all that if you don't know how to communicate, right? And so communication arts, it's not just a very vague, a lot of people think of it as a very vague program. And many also think, oh, there's no money in that because you have to be a very professional person with the licenses and all that. But of course, it's not just that. We are here in College of St. Anthony. We would like to really strengthen you in many ways as your interest. And if you are very much into communication already, then well and good. This can really uplift you and enrich you. But if you are feeling that you somehow a little bit weak in that area, then this is the opportunity for you to jump into communication arts and have that confidence. Because uh, putting yourself out there is a little scary, especially in our culture. We are very introverted, very shy, especially if we are uh, coming out of the pandemic. We've been closed, we haven't been with our friends so much, and so launching yourself into careers later on, it's very, very enriching if you learn more and have foundation in communication. And so in all industries, good communication is very, very essential. It helps you to not just sell products online, but really present yourself very well, confidently, to everyone in the career path that you will choose later on. You can be a digital marketer, you can pursue journalism, public relations, social media engagement. You can pursue also advertising, broadcasting, and then there's also film, public offices, the academe, and then you can also be very professional in the development sector. And so there's so much in store for you if you would like to pursue communication arts, especially through College of St. Anthony, because I'm there. We'll make it not just enriching, but fun and very relevant to whatever career you would like to pursue later on, especially with regard to communications. So, what can you get out of studying communications? So, it increases your understanding in not just professional relationships, but also personal relationships. And so it's not only because you need to present yourself to the executives or to your bosses, but at the same time, you have to create these genuine relationships with your colleagues, your friends. Even enriching me in my personal experience, studying communication has enriched my relationships personally, even with my family and friends. Okay, and so communication also develops important life skills like critical thinking, because you're invited to read a lot, and you're also invited to express yourself very well and express your thoughts, however different they are with each other, and to be able to problem solve, conflict resolution. You would increase your team building abilities, public speaking, and then all of that combined will help you succeed professionally. And so I can't wait to see all of you in the College of St. Anthony. It's going to be really, really exciting. And I'm not just one, there are many of us. And so if you are very interested into taking up communication arts, please, please, please consider College of St. Anthony, because Metro Manila is very traffic. Why not go to Bulacan, right? Where it's very peaceful and the school is very, very pretty. Okay, see you.
Thank you, Miss Cara. Our next speaker also handles multimedia arts. He's one of our lecturers here, and Mr. Parma took up his MA in Strategic Business Economics at the University of Asia and the Pacific and a program in filmmaking at the New York Film Academy. He pursued a second MA in Interactive Media Design at the Instituto Europeo Design School in Barcelona, Spain. So on top of that, he also serves as the creative director of Cavan Studios. Everyone, let's give Mr. Alan Parma a warm welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I'm Alan, and I'm a multimedia arts lecturer. Aside from everything that Miss Sophia said, our studio has worked with has worked with companies such as ABS-CBN, Solar, Nickelodeon, and MTV Philippines. So we produced music videos, corporate videos, commercials, and also did some special effects for films both here and abroad. And actually, our chairperson, Sir Charlie, has also worked with me on a lot of those projects back in the day, so many years ago. Um, in and Miss Sophia also mentioned that I took interactive design in Barcelona. So that's where I learned a lot. Doing projects with international students and international designers, where we had a lot of interesting projects that were shown in conventions. So that's mostly a UI and UX design, which we also teach here in the MMA program. In our MMA course, I'm part of I have taught subjects dealing with the history of graphic design. So this is where we try to explore and discover how we as humans develop art, design, and language. We explore also the evolution. Where did we start? How did we get there? What were the designs through the years? How art and design is shaped by and also affects our society. Explore various styles around the world. And hopefully, and this is one of my favorite discussions with my students, is what the future of art and design might be. So not just the history, but also how can we be part of the future of art and design. I also teach motion graphics, and we learn the basic principles of motion design and animation. And we discover the various tools and software to create motion graphics. And more importantly, more important than the tools that we learn, because we know that we can learn any software naman if we just look at tutorials. But more than that, it's about the process of becoming more efficient and collaborating with the team. I also teach web design, where we explore design thinking techniques. And actually, I like to employ design thinking in all of my classes, because that's really the heart of being a multimedia designer or multimedia artist. So in web design, we learn basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I hope um, students won't be intimidated by learning. Kasi if you hear HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you might hear coding and programming, but that's not really the point of learning that. And it's basic. And I assure you, I am not a programmer by profession, and I also back in the day was not keen on programming. But the technology has changed so much now. It's easy na to learn these programming languages. And it's not about becoming a programmer, but having the tools and the language so that you can talk to programmers to be able to execute your design. So it's about building a foundation for web design and app development. And my and by profession, I'm in video production. So I also teach advanced video production. And we go through the whole production process. We learn the importance of concept development, script writing, storyboarding, and making creative decisions that meets the objectives of the project. So we also learn in all of my classes, we learn constructive criticism. We learn to not only praise our fellow classmates' work, but also to find ways to make it better, to help each other out with our projects and offer solutions. So we encourage discussion, questioning ideas, trying out things, and submitting things even if you're not confident with your work. Kasi that's the point of uh, learning, right? We do it, we make mistakes, we fix the mistakes, and we try again until we come up with something that we're proud of. And multimedia art, being an artist and a designer, is really more than the art itself, more than being skilled as a skilled artist. It's about really understanding people, especially when you look at multimedia as a communications tool. Kasi MMA is about using the various technologies and mediums so that you can communicate and help people. No, so whether it's not just about making the best web page or making the best video. It's learning to tell the story through through the web page and through the videos. And because I believe and we believe here that design really is about solving problems. And hopefully, as a CSA MMA graduate, you will appreciate the process of design and learn how to collaborate with others to solve real world problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parma. So, it's good that he got to share that it's not just about creating output, but also learning how to work with different kinds of people, learning how to receive feedback from others, and taking that feedback so that you can improve upon your work and inspire others to do the same. So, if you would notice, our beloved SSA students, our school, CSA, really takes pride in the lectures we have in the college. Like I mentioned earlier, let's not be easily swayed by the perks or the freebies that we see other schools might offer. At CSA, we really invest in the lecturers that will be helping you attain your goals and helping you become employable in the future, because in the long run that's what will help you and benefit you the most. So I want you to think of that and consider it. Before I introduce our last speaker for today, so last but not the least, we have Mr. Anthony Charles Coralejo, our college dean and one of our lecturers for communications and multimedia arts. Mr. Coralejo took up his master's degree program in film and media production at the New York Film Academy and graduated with honors. He has over a decade of experience in post production work and live action shoots, having worked in Los Angeles, Singapore, and the Philippines. Again, let's welcome Dean Charlie.
Hi everyone. Yeah, like mentioned when by Sir Alan earlier, I used to work with him, and a lot of times, like it's actually very fond memories for me. And when I look back and think about all of the things that we were able to accomplish together before, yes, he was capable of introducing me and teaching me, and especially earlier down the line for me, in introducing me to the production and media world. But I found my own way, in which case, right now. Uh, I'm currently also, I guess to add to this, the head of creatives in Rumble Royale. I know that might not uh, ring familiar to a lot of people, but Rumble Royale right now is one of the lead creative agencies and talent agencies for gaming and esports here in the Philippines. So this might ring more familiar to especially some of the younger folk here, but that means in terms of any kinds of commercials and promotions uh, in regards to some of your favorite games, like for example, ones by Moontan, Mobile Legends, PUBG, Tower of Fantasy now in Nikkei, and also in terms of esports, in terms of promotions for the upcoming M4, in terms of Worlds, in terms of VCT, like all of the different major tournaments and the promotions here in the Philippines for some of your favorite games. Right now, I'm the head for the teams that are executing on the promotions here in the Philippines. And past that, since we're also a talent agency, again, I guess some of the names that you might be more familiar with, the talents that we handle in my company, like Bunja, Doggy, or Akasu Doggy, I'm sorry, Chooks TV, and Eric Eruption Tai. These are the kinds of people that usually work with us, again, because we are a multimedia agency trying to deal and tackle with a lot of different kinds of products for our clients. Now, that said, as the dean of the College of St. Anthony, especially coming from a background like mine, the reason why I'm so excited and regularly like enthused to share more information about the breadth of knowledge being kept in the multimedia arts course is because there's still so much to be discovered down the line. As far as I'm concerned, when I think about how multimedia arts is and has been for the past maybe 2 decades, it's still a growing and strengthening industry. When I teach this to people who's just coming along, especially like right now, if you ask your parents, not a lot of people will be able to instantly and uh, be like immediately connected to the idea of what multimedia arts is. And I understand that difficulty because it's not necessarily an industry that's existed for a very long time, right? Right now, I would roughly say probably 2 to 3 decades worth. That's how long the multimedia arts industry has existed. Mostly how long, however long the internet has existed, that's how long this industry has existed, which is really different compared to the other creative industries that have existed around uh, advertising, right? When we think about film, when we think about music production, and we think about the arts in general, we used to think about those as completely separate industries. But with the advent of multimedia arts, that's kind of all melded together because of the requirements of the internet and how the world generally is right now. Suddenly, everything's just one big pot that everyone has to partake in. Now, that said, what does that mean when you're thinking of joining the multimedia arts course? And what does it mean for us here in the College of St. Anthony? What do we need to do then to make ourselves different, set ourselves aside, and prove to you guys that, hey, this is a very viable option for you guys to grow uh, yourself as a multimedia arts practitioner, right? That means that what we specialize in, the thing that we want to give importance to, is that if you're here in the College of St. Anthony, our mentality is more in the lines of understanding that everybody already kind of has great ideas to an extent, right? Creativity is somewhat infinite. That's kind of the point to it. But in our course, what we would like to focus on is understanding and knowing you guys well enough to focus on giving you guys all of the tools to pretty much materialize any of the creative ideas that you already have. That is the limitation usually for any kind of creative, is that since most of the people already have really great ideas anyway, it's just that limitation of not understanding the kind of skill set, the kind of requirements that they need to have to push any idea that they have into the physical space, into the digital space, into whatever space multimedia arts industry would require from you. In which case, that's our mentality here in the College of St. Anthony. We want to make sure that when you're here with us, it's not to hinder or control your creative energy whatsoever. It's to understand that creative energy to such an extent that we will understand and know what best way to supply you with the tools that you will need to create what you would like to create down the line, right? As creators, as people of the creative industry, that's kind of the frustration a lot. And I know this from personal experience in the sense that sometimes you have the best idea for any kind of problem that you might have, but without the practice or skills to execute on that. In which case, yeah, that's what we want to fix. That's what we want to help you with. And that's what we're very prepared to show you because a lot of our courses, a lot of uh, our classes here are very hands on in showing you specifically how to do it yourself in your own way. Again, it might sound super technical, but that's kind of the point. We don't want to hinder you at all, right? Now that said, I'm also still very much encouraging you guys to, of course, join into the multimedia arts course specifically because it's still a very young industry. As far as I'm concerned with how it's being formed right now, we are still in the precipice of it, in which case, even by the time that you guys graduate, you will still be in the head running for it in terms of forming the industry as a whole. It's still not fully set. There's still so many things changing and very fast, and we're very ready to help you all adjust to that by the time that you guys are also entering the industry yourselves. I hope that helps. I hope you guys can consider College of St. Anthony in terms of the multimedia arts course, and of course, all of our other courses. Yeah, that's been me. Hi.
Thank you so
Hope you
much.
have a great day.
Thank you, Dean Charlie. So, as you can all tell everyone, you see how all of the lecturers really made time to be with you this afternoon. And do you see how very much invested they are in the success of their students? We'd love to offer you the same. We really care for our students here, and we want you to experience the kind of education that's meaningful and also would allow you to collaborate with others, learn from our excellent lecturers, while at the same time, of course, keeping you guys happy and keeping you mentally safe also. So I hope all of you present learned something new and gained a lot of inspiration from the sharing of our different college lecturers. At this point, I just wanted to show also some photos from this school year. So you'd see here some pictures of the limited face-to-face classes we had. Recently, there was a donation drive also around the community of Bulacan because of a recent storm that passed. So do consider that our student council and our school community also takes part in different social civic activities so that we're also connected with the communities nearby. In the rightmost portion of this slide, you would see the social interaction day for college students as well as the color run they organized as well. So just some photos from this school year. Here are some opportunities also for our college students at CSA. So they will be given different opportunities to take part in field study where they can see research activities outside of the school campus, internship opportunities for students to experience work outside of the school's confines, and also opportunities to join different organizations that will help students also find out more about their interests, or if they already have particular things that they're invested in, maybe they can take part in similar organizations. Okay? And then at this point, of course, thank you also very much to our beloved college lecturers who made the time to share a bit about their teaching experience here at CSA, and who made the time to share also about their different fields of expertise. So at this point, I'd like to entertain any possible questions any of you students might have about the College of St. Anthony and the different programs we offer. You can also leave it in the chat box here if you're more comfortable with that. In case any questions might pop up later, you can also feel free to message us in the official College of St. Anthony Facebook page. We have a chat box there, and we do check our messages daily. So you can also message us there. Okay, but if there are no questions at this point, I would like to thank all of you for joining us today as we gave you a glimpse of College of St. Anthony San Jose del Monte. We hope that this will aid you in decision making as you traverse another chapter of your lives. Have a great afternoon, everyone, and as always, keep safe.